Yours truly, Jedi Master Brevin Thompson, here to give you some of my thoughts on the trailer for Rambo: Last Blood, which is the fifth in the Rambo franchise. Uh, well, as for my thoughts on the other movies in the franchise, the first one I loved it. I loved these movies ever since I was a kid. Looking back on them now, First Blood 2 was, so it did have enjoyable moments, but it wasn't as good as the first movie. 3, I thought was kind of, it was a little bit of a mess. The fourth one did have its awesome moments of action, but its story was not really strong. But as for my thoughts on how the fifth movie will turn out, well, Sylvester Stallone had his ups and downs during his career, but he's, he's been knocking it out of the park with recent movies, with Creed 1 and 2, and it was good to see him back as Rocky in those movies. As for how he'll do as Rambo in Last Blood, after seeing Creed, I honestly think this might serve as a redemption for the Rambo franchise. Because sure, the sequels were enjoyably dumb. This one might, however, turn out to be the best Rambo sequel because of from what we've hear Rambo. What we hear Rambo saying is that we know that he's still suffering from like PTSD and everything. He's like that he's seen people that he loved die, and some fast with a bullet, some not enough left to bury. And we see that he's still a broken man, and that's one of the few things that's most memorable about his character. Even though he's a war hero and everything, but he's a broken man. He lost pretty much everybody he ever cared for or loved. As for the story, as far as I've heard or read on Wikipedia, that Rambo has to go to Mexico to save a friend's daughter who's been kidnapped by the Mexican cartel. So after seeing the trailer, I think the action looks pretty good, and honestly, I have really high hopes for this movie, and I hope it turns out pretty good. I also wanted to give you my thoughts on the recent Mortal Kombat Pack trailer. The gameplay for Shang Tsung looks so badass, and especially when it comes to the end with his fatality, and and we see the Kintaro coming out of Raiden. Oh my god, that was so awesome. And they mentioned the other DLC characters. They'll be having Nightwolf. They'll be having Sindel. And what's more exciting was they revealed that they're finally gonna have Spawn, which I have been waiting for a long time. I originally thought that they would add him in Injustice 2, but given how violent the character is, it kind of makes more sense for him to be a guest character in the Mortal Kombat franchise and not in the Injustice franchise. So, yeah, kudos to NetherRealm for making that choice for the Mortal Kombat franchise. Because, as for who else they'll be adding as guest characters, well, I've heard possible rumors of Ash Williams for the Evil Dead franchise possibly being added to the roster, but that hasn't really been confirmed. But it could happen. And I also heard some rumors of possibly either Terminator or the Joker. Honestly, I don't know if any of those are completely confirmed yet. So we'll just have to wait until NetherRealm announces it, I guess. It's a lot to look forward to. So those are my thoughts on the recent trailers that I've just seen. So what are your thoughts on the recent movie trailers? Do you think that the movie or game is going to turn out good, or do you think it's going to turn out bad? Let me know in the comment section below if you want news on the latest movies or games. You know where to find me.